Alright, let's continue with the word of the Most High. Look at Amos 3. Amos, the 3rd chapter. And verse 6. Amos 3 and 6. And shall a trumpet be blown in the city? You hear the sound of the trumpet in the city? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city? And the people not be afraid? You hear that sound of the trumpet, and the people don't be afraid. Like right now, they have what they call air raid sound in the cities. Then you know something's up. Say, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Most High have not done it? You hear that? You hear that sound of that trumpet? You know that certain sound that the people gonna be afraid? That's alarm. Shall there be evil in a city and the Most High has not done it? Asking the question. Shall there be evil in a city and the Most High has not done it? Surely the Most High will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants who are the 12 tribes of Israel, the prophets, the men of Israel. His secrets he revealeth to his servants, the prophets, the men of Israel. So this is very, very important. You see, so we as a people, we have a power. His name is Yahweh. The power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. Period. No more, no less. He's not the power of everyone. He's the power of Abraham, who had a son named Isaac, who had a son named Jacob. And Jacob became the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. That's just the way it is. And the Most High revealing his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, because the servants are the Israelites. So that's why I say you look at these words here, but you have to know the Bible, the precepts, to be able to understand who it's talking to, what it's talking about, and who it relates to. Look at Isaiah 44. And right to the point, verse 21. Isaiah 44th chapter, the 21st verse. Who are the servants of the Most High? Say, remember these, O Jacob and Israel. Jacob is the forefather of the Israelites. For thou art my servant. It can't get no clearer than that. Here, we was reading about Moab. How he gonna, sound a trumpet on them. He could have said, all nations are his servant. No, he said, remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou, which means you art my servant. See? He said, I formed thee. Thou art my servant. Who, O Israel, thou shalt not be forgotten of me. He said he's not going to forget us. So I have blotted out as a thick cloud thy transgressions, our sins. He have blotted out our sins, and as a cloud thy sins. Return unto me, for I have redeemed thee. See? Our redemption is coming from the Most High first and foremost. He said he blotted out our sins to redeem us and bring us to him. This is the good news, y'all. It's the good news. The best news. Zephaniah, the first chapter. Zephaniah, the first chapter. And let's look at start at verse 14. The great day of the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua is near. It is near and hastens greatly, even the voice of the day of the Most High. The mighty men shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress. It don't sound like a lot of love if you ain't prepared for it. He said that day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and of distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. You hear that? That trumpet gonna sound for that warning and of alarm against the fenced cities, all the cities that think they have this strong security, and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, like they can't even see, because they have sinned against the Most High. And their blood shall be poured out as dust, just like dirt. Pick up dirt, blood gonna be poured out like dust. And their flesh as the dung. Neither shall their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Most High's wrath. You can't buy your way from the wrath of the Most High. No money that you can give gonna redeem you from the wrath of the Most High. This day of the Most High's wrath. But the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy. For he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Man. And that's how he have done to us. As far as our land of Israel, this is desolation over there. Just as he said, just as he had made it to come to be. His word did not go out void, people. First Corinthians 14. 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter. Let's look at verse 8, because it's dealing with the trumpet. It says, we're dealing with the trumpet and warning. Say, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, the trumpet sounds and it give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? Who going to be warned that war is coming? Who going to prepare himself for the battle? If a trumpet give an uncertain sound, that's what I say, every sound of the trumpet had a certain meaning. But if a trumpet give an uncertain sound, who going to prepare himself for the battle? Who going to prepare himself for war? That trumpet sounds for warning. Trumpet sounds for the alarm that we're looking at now. Who's going to prepare himself for the battle? You're not going to know it, because that sound that you know means the warning for war, or the alarm to let you know, hey, war is coming. A certain sound. We heard ha ha, 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 too, for what? The warning. The alarm had a certain sound. You blew it a certain way. It might be da da da, da da da, da da da. 3 sounds. 2 sounds was a warning. 3 sounds for the alarm. Just give you an example, because it don't say concerning how to sound, but we knew that it had a certain sound. That's why it says, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, da 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 da. That don't mean anything. We ain't know about that sound. That's an uncertain sound. But we hear da da da, da da da. We know that's the warning. Or the alarm, I say. Because the warning was ta ta, and the alarm has 3 sounds. Da da da, da da da. We know that's The warning. The alarm. So like the alarm. I'm just giving you examples. It has to have a certain sound. That's why it says, if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? You're not going to prepare yourself because you don't know that sound. But they're trying to alarm you, to warn you for the battle, but you don't know the sound. So you don't know. That's why I say that the trumpet, blowing of the trumpet had a certain sound that we knew it meant something. So now we got to look at the sound, the blowing of the trumpet for worship. First Chronicles, the 15th chapter. A certain sound of the trumpet. Do, 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 do. Say that sound. Do, 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 do. We know that was the sound of the trumpet for worship. First Chronicles 15 and verse 24. First Chronicles 15 and 24. This is the sound of the trumpet for worship. And Shebaniah and Jehoshaphat and Nathaniel and Amasa and Zechariah and Benaiah and Eleazar the priest did blow with the trumpets before the ark of the Most High. And Obed-Edom and Jedahiah were doorkeepers for the ark. See? So David and the elders of Israel and the captains over thousands went to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Most High out of the house of Obed-Edom with joy. And it came to pass when the Most High helped the Levites that bear the ark of the covenant of the Most High, that they offered 7 bullocks and 7 rams. And David was clothed with a robe of fine linen. And all the Levites that bear the ark, and the singers, and Jeconiah, the master of the song of the singers, with the singers, David also had upon him an ephod of linen. Thus all Israel brought up the ark of the covenant of the Most High with shouting, and with sound of the cornet music, and with trumpets, and with cymbals, making a noise with psaltery and harps. See? Playing music. Sound of the trumpet for worship. Look at 1 Chronicles 16 and 42. And with them Heman and Jeduthun with trumpets and cymbals for those that should make a sound, and with musical instruments of the Most High. And the sons of Jeduthun were porters. And all the people departed, every man to his house, and David returned to bless his house. See, that's music. And the trumpets for the sound of worship. Worshiping the Most High. First Chronicles 25. See, this is a time that King David was ruling. He was at war, but at least we had, as the Israelites, we wasn't dealing with, being under no nations in captivity. We had our own customs that we knew, and we followed them. We were able to. First Chronicles 25 and 5. Well, let's read verse 4. Of Heman, this is giving you the different names. We don't read them all because we're going to start at 4. Of Heman, the sons of Heman, Bukiah, Nathaniah, Eziel, Zebuel, and Jeremoth, Hananiah, Hanani, Elitha, Gidalti, and Romam Tiezer, Joshbekasha, Molahai, Hother, and Mazariah. All these were the sons of Heman the king's seer, in the words of the Most High, to lift up the horn, that's the trumpet. And the Most High gave to Heman 14 sons and 3 daughters. Woo. All these were under the hands of their father for song in the house of the Most High. That's worship. With cymbals, psaltery, and harps, music. Musical instruments, like I said, of the Most High. With cymbals, psaltery, and harps for the service of the house of the Most High, according to the king's order to Asaph, Zedathun, and Heman. For the number of them with their brethren that were instructed in the songs of the Most High, even all that were cunning, was 268. Wow, that's 288. That's beautiful. So we have music. That's part of what we do, Israel. Have music. You know, like a lot of old school, they ain't hip to the music, but we have music. You can read it here. Psalms are songs. Psalms, those are psalms that David created. Look at Psalms 81. It's for the new moon that we're in. Psalms 81. It says, Psalms 81 and 1. Say, to the chief musician upon Gittith, a psalm of Asaph. What do you say? Sing aloud unto the Most High, our strength. See? Say, sing songs to the Most High, who is our strength. How can you get more strength or more power than you can get from the Most High? He says, sing aloud unto the Most High, our strength. Make a joyful noise unto the power of Jacob. Take a psalm, and we're in the Psalms here, and bring hither the timbrel, the present harp with the psaltery. It's musical instruments. Play musical instruments. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. Say, blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. So this is time that we knew the sound the trumpet had a certain sound for us to come together and worship. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon. The new moon, you know, it was a new moon because it had a certain sound that was blown, was to come together, like I say, in the time appointed, which is the first day of the month according to the moon, on our solemn feast day. See, we blew the trumpet on our solemn feast day, which is the new moon, is a solemn feast day. For this was a statute for Israel and a law of the Most High power of Jacob. It's a law, the new moon. It's a feast day. It's like a Sabbath. Only we feast and have a good time. It's a day of gladness, joy. We have a good time. See, this he ordained in Joseph, way back in the time that Joseph was in Egypt, for a testimony when he went out through the land of Egypt, where I heard a language that I understood not. See, he didn't even understand the Egyptian's language. You care less. So we have that was for worship. So now we have the sound of the horn or the trumpet for a time to assemble. Go to Numbers, the 10th chapter. Numbers, the 10th chapter. Verse 7. Numbers 10 and 7. It says, but when the congregation is to be gathered together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. See, it's a different sound, like I'm telling you. It cannot sound like da-da-da, da-da-da-da, da-da-da. It can't sound like that. If that's the sound for the alarm, just creating the sound. You say, but when the congregation is to be gathered together, that's the sound that the congregation is to come together to assemble themselves, ye shall blow. You blow a certain sound with the trumpet, but ye shall not sound an alarm. It has to be a different sound than the alarm. Look at Numbers 10 and verse 4. It says, and if they blow with one trumpet, then the princes which are heads of the thousands of Israel shall gather themselves unto thee. When ye blow an alarm, that's what we're looking at, the difference between alarm, the sound of an alarm, and the sound of the trumpets being blown to assemble ourselves together. When you blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east part shall go forward. Blow this alarm, the camps on the east side gonna go forward. When ye blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. The camps that's on the south side shall start to move once you sound the sound of the alarm from the trumpet the second time the same. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys. See? That certain sound that you know is for that alarm to know it's time to move. Verse 7. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, when everybody's supposed to come together, ye shall blow, but ye shall not sound an alarm. It shall not sound like an alarm, but it has a certain distinct blowing of the trumpets that we would hear to know that it's time to assemble ourselves together. So, verse 9, it says, and if you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresses you, then you shall blow an alarm with the trumpets. And you shall be remembered before the Most High, your power, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. That's really serious. You know, we would blow an alarm with the trumpets. Da 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 da. We knew that sound. We would blow that alarm, and ye shall be remembered before the Most High, your power. Most High remember us. We the children of Israel. And ye shall be saved from your enemies. You'll be saved from our enemies. Now, you hear, I just went to Isaiah 58:1. We crying aloud, sparing not, lifting up our voice like a trumpet, to show the word of the Most High, show our people that to come back to the laws, statutes, commandments of the Most High, His rules and regulations, that we may be redeemed from this wicked and evil world that we in. It's no different than what you see here. And ye shall go, when it said, if ye go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresses you, then ye shall blow an alarm with the trumpets. This coming, war is coming wherever we are. 2 Ezra 15-14 declares it. And ye shall be remembered before the Most High your power, and ye shall be saved from your enemies. Jeremiah, the 4th chapter. We blew a certain sound to assemble ourselves together. Jeremiah, the 4th chapter. And verse 5. Declare you in Judah, and publish in Jerusalem, and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land, cry, gather together. See, a certain sound of the trumpet, the blowing of the trumpet, to allow us to assemble ourselves, to gather together. That's why he said, declare ye in Judah, and publish in Jerusalem, and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land, cry, gather you together, assemble yourselves together, and say, assemble yourselves. See, here it is, assemble yourselves, and let us go into the defense cities. Set up the standard towards Zion. Retire, stay not, for I will bring evil from the north and a great destruction. Woo. So, let us know he's going to bring that evil, because why the Most High bring evil? Because you want to roll in evil. You want to roll in wickedness, therefore you draw the evil to you. Joel 2 and 15. We looking at the sound of the trumpet to tell us to gather ourselves together or assemble ourselves. Joel 2 and 15. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly. See, there it is. That's a certain sound of the trumpet to call a solemn assembly. Gather ourselves together. That's why 16 said, gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children. Certain sound for the assembling ourselves and gathering ourselves together. That's different from the warning, the alarm, or the time to come together to worship. This is to gather ourselves together. Gather the people, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber and the bride out of her closet. I mean, we had the bridegroom chamber where you would go in, and that's how you got married. You would have sexual intercourse, and what we call the reception. The people would be waiting outside of this bridegroom chamber, or the bride's closet, as it says. And she would go in there, generally as a virgin, and have a cloth, and she would, once her hymen is broke, the blood would come out, and then it would be on the cloth, and she would come out and give it to her father, and then everybody would celebrate that they're married. Okay, so this is what we look at. Zephaniah, the 2nd chapter. Zephaniah, the 2nd chapter, 1st verse. It say, gather together. Yeah, gather together, O nation not desired. See, that certain sound will be brought out to let us know we got to assemble ourselves together. We got to gather ourselves together. Gather together. Gather yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together, O nation not desired. And we're a nation that's not desired. Because we got next. And the nations know the power that we've had in the past. We just don't know our story. We know his story, but we don't know our story as the Israelites. That's why I'm bringing it to you. And many other brothers bringing it to you in these last days. That's why I say, gather yourselves together. Yeah. Gather together, O nation not desired. Before the decree bring forth. There's a decree that's been ordained to happen before the day pass as the shaft. I mean, the shaft is the wheat that's discarded and burned up. Before the fierce anger of the Most High come upon you. Before the day of the Most High's anger come upon you. Seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, all you humble of the earth, all you that have humility of the earth. And we no one's more meeker than the children of Israel. But the other nations, they didn't rise up against the enemy. What it mean? They're going to live or die. But Israel, we're a very humble people. Seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Who is that? Psalms 147, hold that. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. Who have wrought the Most High's judgment? Let's find out. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. The statutes and his judgments unto Israel. The judgments for what? Breaking the Most High's laws. The judgments, the punishment for breaking the Most High's laws. His statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Concerning these other nations, outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, he have not dealt so with any nation. So the judgment of the Most High only have come upon the children of Israel, because he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. he have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments concerning these other nations, they have not known them. Praise ye the Most High. So when you look over here and we look at Zephaniah in verse 3 of the 2nd chapter of Zephaniah, it says, seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. So the meek of the earth are the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. And we the only ones that have wrought his judgment, as we just read. Seek righteousness. So if you seek righteousness, what is that talking about? Deuteronomy 6:25 says, seek righteousness. So it's not just how you think righteousness is. Let's see what the Bible says what righteousness is. Deuteronomy 6:25. Seek righteousness, right? It says, and it shall be our righteousness. This is our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High our power, as he hath commanded us. Excuse me. So we got to observe to do all these commandments. Then we're righteous. So going back to Zephaniah 2:3, seek ye the Most High, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment, the 12 tribes of Israel. Seek righteousness. Seek righteousness. Seek meekness, humility, broken and contrite spirit, crying to the Most High. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. See, that's what you want to be. You want to be hid in the day of the Most High's anger. Or you're going to be a part of it. The Most High going to deal with you. It's going to be something else. So let's look at it as a sound of the trumpet telling us it's time to move. It's time to make a move. Leviticus, the 25th chapter. So we have all these different sounds that let us know it's time to make a move. Leviticus 25th chapter and verse 8. And thou shalt number 7 Sabbaths of years unto thee, 7 times 7 years. So 7 Sabbaths, so you know every 7 days is a Sabbath. So say 7 times 7 years, which would be what? 49 years. 7 times 7 is 49. So you talking about years, but he's be 49 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of years shall be unto thee 49 years. So that's 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of the Jubilee to sound on the 10th day of the 7th month, in the day of atonement. So the 10th day of the 7th month will be 10 days from today, which will be the Day of Atonement. We're going to have the Day of Atonement 10 days from now. We're going to have the Day of Atonement. As he's saying, this is on the 10th day of the 7th month. In the Day of Atonement shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land. This is a sound of movement. See, ye shall hallow the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout all the land unto all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man unto his possession, and ye shall return every man unto his family. A jubilee shall that 50th year be unto you. Ye shall not sow, that means don't farm anything, don't grow any crops, neither reap, no harvest any crops, that which groweth of itself in it. nor gather the grapes in it of thy vine undressed. For it is the Jubilee, this is the 50th year. It shall be holy unto you. Ye shall eat the increase thereof out of the field. In the year of this Jubilee ye shall return every man unto his possession. And if thou sell aught unto thy neighbor, or buy aught of thy neighbor's land, ye shall not oppress one another. You gotta be fair and loving thy neighbor as thyself. According to the number of years after the Jubilee, thou shalt buy of thy neighbor, and according unto the number of years of the fruits he shall sell unto thee. According to the multitude of years thou shalt increase the price thereof, and according to the fewness of years thou shalt diminish the price of it. For according to the number of the years of the fruits does he sell unto thee. Ye shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy powers. You're supposed to fear the Most High in our actions, so we won't oppress each other. For I am the Most High, your power. See, most people don't fear the Most High. Therefore, they doing whatever they want to do, how they want to do it. Are they following this? No. That's why I say they broken every law that the Most High is ordained. Every 50 years, you say, hey, it's a year of Jubilee. We had times where we supposed to grow and you let the land rest. Do they do that? No, they don't follow this. That's why this place is jacked up. Look at Matthew 24 and 36. Matthew 24 and 36. Going to the time of h.o.i walking the earth. Matthew 24 and 36. But of that day and hour knoweth no man. Nobody know the day and hour when the Most High going to send h.o.i back to this earth to judge and make war. No, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. Because h.o.i is an angel on the right hand side of the Most High too. He said only the Most High know. So don't be fooled. And nobody say, hey, he's over here, he's over there. He told us all throughout this chapter. But as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before the flood, he's telling about going all the way back to Noah, before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. To the day that Noah entered into the ark. That door was shut. And knew not until the flood came. He kept saying, it's going to rain. Never rained before. Like we said, it's going to be the wrath of the Most High. It's coming upon all those that don't want to come back to follow his rules and regulations, his laws, statutes, and commandments. Point blank. Ain't no doubting in this. You hearing the day of the wrath of the Most High. Gonna be darkness and thick clouds. You're gonna see the sun and the moon, the stars. Cause it's gonna be thick darkness and soot from the destruction of burning. Verse 38, for as the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving to in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came. They didn't know until the flood came. He kept telling them it's going to rain as he building that ark. It's going to rain. Water going to come down from heaven. It didn't rain because the Most High used to nourish all the crops with a dew that came from the earth. Never from the sky. He said it's going to rain. Water going to come from the sky. You don't know what you're talking about. You drunk. He's steady building the ark. And knew not until the flood came. The flood came and took them all away. Killed them all. Except for Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. You ain't gonna know. He just told you. In verse 36, but of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. The Most High only. That's why verse 39 said, and knew not. He give you a comparison of just like when Noah was building that ark. He says it's going to rain, it's going to flood, it's going to kill everybody. Repent. Come back to the Most High. No, they were what? Verse 38. Well, as the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. They ain't gonna know till the missiles start hitting and you see all the fire that's gonna be before us and the flame that's gonna be behind us. Most High will. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall all the coming of the Son of Man be. So also shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Mashiach Yahushua when he come. Then shall two be in the field, one shall be taken, the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, gonna be working in the factories. One shall be taken and the other left. One gonna be taken and one gonna be left. He said, watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your master does come. You don't know what hour he's coming. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, you know the thief is coming at a certain time, he would have watched, he'd been looking out for him, waiting on him to come to get him, and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. They come in, you ready for him. Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. He's coming. He tell you in that trumpet, when he comes, listen, when he comes, the judge will make war. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 16. When he comes, you're going to hear the sound of that trumpet. 1 Thessalonians 4, 16. For the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, because the Mashiach Yahushua coming to judge and make war according to the power of the Most High, himself shall descend, come down from heaven, from the fourth dimension, with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of the Most High, the sound of the trumpet of the Most High. And the dead that have died by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds, in the chariots and the vehicles of the Most High, which are the angels, coming to get the remnant of the 12 tribes of Israel to meet our Master, our Mashiach Yahushua, and the Most High in the air. In the air. And so shall they ever be with the Most High, our Mashiach Yahushua. Wherefore comfort one another with these words. So you see, it's going down. Like he's saying, but you get more understanding as you go through the precepts. You get understanding. Look at Matthew 24, 35. He said, heaven and earth shall pass away. Heaven and earth gonna pass away. But my words shall not pass away. Hear that? So these words are the words of the Most High. That's where you look at he said heaven and earth gonna pass away, right? Go to Isaiah 66 and 22.